Lads, we're back straight into the next one. Own versus Flynn2kBabyRage. We're on knife round at the moment, just setting up ready for who's doing what. I've completed knife check again ahead of schedule jammer, and
Right.
there's a Doppler Karambit in the mix there. I'm just saying, okay, right, little on the down low. There's some good
Uh-huh.
knives out there in this one, so we're going to have to be very, very aware of what's going to happen and when it's happening. But that's more for me, not for you, because I'm the one controlling the camera. Ah, I've set myself up for a fail already. Anyway, moving swiftly forward as quick as humanly possible. We are jumping in straight into Own versus Flynn2kBabyRage. This is our first from the upper bracket, Jammer.
Yes, and of course, to give people a reminder, Own beat Van Clan to get here, and Flynn2K Baby Rage beat Sound As to get here, and that was an overtime game. So I think coming into this one, Own are the favorites, but of course, anything can happen. It's a best of one. We're in the server, and it's pistol round. Flynn2K Baby Rage, they're going to be making their way over towards A. Not the most usual plan of attack for the T side, but they've got a bunch of utility and they've completely sent these CT players
Oh,
scurrying. It's around the world though, down connector and
lovely.
out the door, and well, you love to see this, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I love an around to will play. Not. Oh, I'm going to shut up for a second because that nade was massively deafening as far as Flynn2kBabyRage is concerned. The push out of the site is stifled immediately with the amount of damage that's been laid out, and its Cole has just jumped up on box. He's looking for the extra. He'll pick Ori up as well. Okay, I love an around to world. It's not usually something we see in pistol rounds all that often because it's usually straight B, no stop, get the flashbang in, get your smokes into a good position to block off heaven, and then kind of work your angles as best you can from a T side perspective. But around the world on first round, that sends a message to me that we're probably going to see some spicy tactics in this one. Like that.
Yeah.
That's already straight at the forefront of my mind, at least anyway. Java. This is more of a conventional round, however, as they start to bring the push towards B site.
Push is towards B site. There's two frags opening from okay, well, from Frez, but it's all cleaned up anyway. Everyone is able to rotate in time. Own move to 2-0 as quick as I can get the words out of my mouth.
So the round's over. God, that was quick, wasn't it?
It
Yeah, Fred just like basically went right. This is my island, and I'm staying on my island. I hope everyone's ready to kind of push into me because I'm ready to receive. What are the knives I was on about earlier on, Jammer? The marble
Yeah, yeah, I
falchion. I
spotted
know the
it.
falchion's not the nicest of knives, I would say that, but at the same time, in the right hands, deadly. Oh, okay. So, what do you make of this round? I mean, we're pushing into round three. No upgrades, no nothing from Flynn2kBabyRage. Often just to go with the Glocks, nothing more, nothing else. It can pay off quite nicely if you're in good position to do so. The only upgraded weapon so far is a scout, and that's dropped immediately off the back of it as Colonel locks in a good positional kill with the M4, and he's going for a second and a third, and that's round three out of the play. I was going to say, I mean, no upgrades means that we're going to see a full buy into this round, and we potentially could see an AWP as well. Yeah, there it is.
Well, it's not the start that Flynn2K Baby Rage wanted,
Mm.
but it's one that they have to deal with right now. 3-0 as the scoreline for Own, and seem to be owning, but as you said, that up, that can be instrumental. Seems like we're going to be heading towards A, okay. Four-man setup over towards here, and there's only one player, Aaron Faith, to lock things down. He's pushed up very far, so if he gets taken down early, it could be worrisome, but he's able to get one and scurry away. Nice play from him. A little bit of a lag in getting back, but you know what? He's not punished for it, and that's the opener that they needed.
It's almost like they know that we like knives. Yeah, I mean, looking at from this commentator's perspective, he's in a really deep advanced position. It's a double-edged sword from that placement. You know, if he doesn't lock in that initial pick, or if he bites off too much, then much more than he can chew, he's a dead man, and he's just a loss to his team. And there's no real advantage of it. But he fades away perfectly, gets the initial pick. He doesn't bite off more than he can chew. He doesn't outstay his welcome essentially, and all of a sudden we're in a good position for him. A good place from him because he's got all that information. He knows there's a couple of AKs there that are pushing as well, also, and that's fed into his team. This is why we see Colonel playing back towards Bank, and we also have its Cole pushing up towards that steps area.
Well, Post
Oh.
Plant is going to favor the CT side, and now it's just
Mm-hmm.
Oreo left on his lonesome in bathrooms to lock things down. 1 versus 4. They're not 100% sure of his location, but it will be figured out and sussed out indeed as Freds takes him down. 4-0 for Own, and they're keeping things very healthy, and you can see that economy start to swell.
Upgrade to AWP as well. Okay. This gets a bit more tastier as things progress. I mean, if we're in a position where you have a player like Aaron who's happy to push that advanced position, get deep into that T side, get that early information, that's been going to be like incredibly beneficial for the rest of his teammates. Obviously, remains to be seen. We're only 5 rounds in, Jammer. I know I like to get ahead of myself, but you can kind of see the stories developing on their own accord. Aaron Faith again pushing super deep. He gets 1, 2, 3 off the back of it. He's got Toko there to help out as well, also to chime in. This is just match made in heaven that was for them in that round. Yes, against Pistols, not upgraded, but still a very good round nonetheless, and puts an extra one on the board.
Yeah, it's always nice to keep players alive, and you can see now, you've got a player that's above, or sorry, into the 5 digits for economies. Own being very healthy, having the greatest start that they could hope for. Now it's about just maintaining that lead, making sure that they can progress forwards, and that's the start. Toko with a collateral AWP in connector. He can even walk away strutting with confidence. Own are just owning this matchup right now.
That word makes me feel incredibly old every time it's used. Just because I'm part of the generation for the original use of it. But anyway, moving swiftly forward before everyone goes, he's a boomer. Yeah, just think, again, Toko's in a good position. That's a shock and all position at the best of times. You're always going to get pushed aggressive with AKs in tunnels. It's just part of the parcel of playing on this map. But he makes it work well for himself. I think he'd be very happy, of course, getting the double off the back of it. It swings favor in his team's position, and yeah, as you mentioned, being able to fade away is always a really, really nice perspective to have on it. Godlike Tiger, however, chime off with a shot of his own. Oh, someone just headed the molly away from themselves there. Not too bad.
A couple of mishaps from the T side, but
Yeah.
they're stabilizing. 2 versus 3 in the retake. Colonel's trying to peek over the wall, see if he can find that secret recipe from Flynn2k, and he's rewarded for it. Just Tiger now left alive with the AWP, tagged down super low, smoked off, and this round said and done. It's just a matter of whether Tiger can stay alive, and he can't. So Flynn2kBabyRage, they're getting some good positions. They've got the bomb down a couple of times now, twice in the last 3, but just can't maintain that lead, can't capitalize, and Own are just running away with things.
Yeah, who'd have thought a secret blend of herbs and spices would have put us in this position, Jammer?
Yeah.
The Colonel. I caught the subtle. I caught it. I heard it. I'm positive everyone else did as well. Can almost hear production going, oh god, here we go again. They're going to go off again on puns and everything else. But
We
no,
get a bonus
it was
for
good.
every pun, right?
Do we? I think that's in the contract, definitely. We need to start adding it into it regardless. Good nade there into water. Doesn't do as much damage as potentially it could have done, but at the same time, it's unconfirmed damage there onto Imperial, and that's always healthy from a CT perspective. That boosting play is not. It's just a spray through wall, even, I should say.
Yeah. I've got to say, in the dead time, as far as all the matches we've seen today, I think I'm confident in saying that this is the highest quality CS that we've seen so far from these teams. And that's not to say the other teams are bad. This is just a different level that we've seen compared to before. So I'm glad to see some, good Counter-Strike coming out from the Isle of Man in this boosted Manx tournament.
Same.
It's just a matter of Flynn2k putting some rounds on the board now.
Exactly. More, please. Yeah, I agree with you. In the downtime in between, it's just nice seeing teams do the age-old mechanics, like, still checking those dead zones. It's cool. I'm just going to let him run away with it here. Last 3-piece back-to-back off just no information whatsoever. Doesn't get any assistance from his teammates as such. He's just straight deadlocked into firing everything he possibly can at the opponents that are popping up in front of him. And Godlike Tiger has to rotate away. I mean, keep the AWP right. Got no money in the bank for any of your teammates as well.
The tail of the tape right now is the double C's. It's Cole and the Colonel. They haven't died yet. They're 8 and 9 kills apiece. And then you've got Aaron Faith with 9 and 2. Toko 4 and 2. You saw that instrumental collateral and connector early on. Freds has had some, instrumental openings, even coming in for the retakes and helping with that. And then on the other side of things, Flynn2kBabyRage just haven't been able to hit the ground running. There's two players that are, for all intents and purposes, 007 right now.
Yeah.
It's just not the start that they wanted. They're not out of it yet. This
No.
is CT sided. There are so many caveats that we can add to this, but the rounds are running out for them to make a difference.
We get into the kind of region of the first map we covered today, the vertical map, where yes, it's CT sided. Yes, they're going to take full advantage of that CT sidedness, but at the same time, if you continue to lose rounds, it no longer becomes a fact of being CT sided or not. It becomes a whitewash essentially of just round after round being lost, in favor of the opponent. There will be that early initial aggression between the AWPers, Toko and Godlike Tiger. Godlike Tiger come off better in that scenario up towards Party, but there doesn't seem to be too much kind of once they've got that extra man advantage, they don't seem to run away with it too much. They're very reserved in how they're kind of pushing into sight. They're not eager to make too much noise. They want to, watch the ripples kind of mature of their own accord. And this is two players that are stood right on top of each other at the moment.
Seems to be somewhat of a shell shock effect. Maybe a bit
Yeah.
of anxiety coming through from Flynn2kBabyRage. You can see, they're just not covering their corners, caught off guard. And even though they had a man advantage and they've got some position towards A-Long, it's going to be a tough task to maintain it to the site. That was an instrumental kill onto Aaron Faith, and that will open things up. That will help things. Now the double Cs have to do it all, and they can't do much. Now just it's Cole, 1 versus 4 on the cards, M4 in hand, and well, some frags on the board to pick up. Bam down, there's the first. 1 versus 3. Has some utility, but there's no smoke, so this is still very tough. Unable to come up against the AWP on top. There's the first round for Flynn2kBabyRage, and well, there's never a later time for it to happen.
Indeed, there isn't. I mean, this deep into the first half, having one on the board is anything, is good enough in some cases. Double AWP play.
E-side.
Unconventional, but I mean it has worked. With other teams, it's very unconventional. It all depends on where you're going to place these double AWPs. If you're going to have a 2-2, you're going to have a 1-1 split. Having Godlike Tiger push up deep into Party, but yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it only works if Own make the mistake of walking into their crosshairs, and right now it doesn't seem to be the case that they're going to be making those kinds of mistakes. Trying to sort out the boost on the slide. I'm not sure if they remember that they need the AWP up top, but the player coming behind them, and then the AWP jumps on their head. But inconsequential again, flash towards long, gives Tiger an opening, and now that the AWP has flashed off, Aaron Faith is on an island. He just needs to stand strong and get anything that he can. Counter flash with a double peek into long. Aaron Faith will get the opener, in fact. The Tiger. God, Aaron Faith. I don't know how he got away with that, but
no.
Escapes unscathed with 2 kills in pocket. And now, Flynn2kBabyRage, they're just kind of left scratching their heads.
Kind of wanted to say if someone could let Godlike Tiger know that he can hit his left mouse button and then the gun fires, because there was a few occasions there where he had open shots and he just did nothing.
Okay,
it was like he was just
BM
kind
players, not BM commentators.
BM casters. Okay, that's my bad. I will hold my hands up and I will admit I'm out of line there. Okay, promise. I'm just praying that they'll never go back and check any of my Twitter videos of me playing CS and watching the silver madness that goes on in those games. But anyway, there's a couple of occasions there where I think reluctant to pull the trigger, and it just allows more space. What happened, from what I could see at least anyway, Toko was swing peeking outright, popping shots off towards him, giving him a lot of attention. And what he's been doing is swinging out, shoot, swing back, swing out, shoot, swing back. And as he swings out and shoots on the third time, you get Aaron swing out with him, and he just stays behind that a little bit extra, a couple of seconds longer, which is why he's able to connect on top. It's actually a really good team play between the two of them from long.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of tunnel vision holding him back there.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I think that's probably that's actually a nicer way of putting it than I did the first time round. But yeah, Happens to the best of us. I mean, like, you know, we've seen
Yeah.
it with Tier 1, we've seen it with everyone basically that plays CS. There's always that little bit of apprehensiveness in open play, especially when you're in a tournament like this as well. I think, you know, one round knockout games like this, you're always going to be a little bit apprehensive. You're always going to be that little bit kind of uneasy about yourself as to what you want to do. This is such a big position from the boost. Fred will open up on the first. It is SMGs in the hands of Flynn, so they can do a lot of damage, especially if those MAC-10s can get up close and personal, and that's exactly what they were looking to do with this scenario, pushing through into B, but that grenade is big, Jammer.
Look at where Aaron Faith is. He's just walked through Fountain, and he's now behind them. And it's not going to matter, because Toko is locking things down in Bathroom. He doesn't need an AWP when he can do the job with a pistol, but he's just won the round for them. Aaron Faith will lock it in with that big lurk, but honestly, I'm just really impressed with what I'm seeing from Own right now.
Yeah, same. Be hard pressed to change that. Very hard pressed to disagree with you as well. It's just good mechanics again. It's good team play. It looks like a team that's very well pracked, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's a tough task for Flynn2kBabyRage to come back into things. That's a good start, though, from Respect and Hazza. Now it's just about capitalizing. 3 versus 5. Own need to do something to get back into this round, but they're 9-1 up, so can't fault them. Aaron going for that jump spot, and the flash is good. Gives him space, and he can escape towards long. No one there to punish. Oreo ripped out the server, and I don't think he's, you know, had much to say in this entire game so far. He's just had the worst luck so far. Own, though, in a retake situation, and I just don't know what the solution is for Flynn2kBabyRage right now.
The solution is to use this utility. I mean, that's got to be the first starting point.
Yeah.
You know, put the utility where you know you're going to get advanced positions from. Doesn't seem to come to fruition, of course, apart from the Molotov and the flash that's been put into play, but Colonel's moved past it all. Imperial will finish him off in the end, and Flynn2kBabyRage will finally put another one on the board, Jammer.
Yeah. Just like a mid-half kind of looking at the standings, you know, Aaron Faith is really heading up the scoreboard, which wasn't something I was necessarily expecting. 137 ADR, and then there's just a 6 and a 4 KD for the double C players. So really strong starts from these guys, and I think Flynn2kBabyRage, they need to try and hem the bleeding over towards this A site for them to have any real success. The problem is, how do you do that? You know, how do you stop players that are feeling it? You know, do you go to the other side of the map? Do you start harassing B? Do you start, you know, trying to just push in together, start steamrolling them? You know, it's a real tough problem to crack, and it's multifaceted, but that is a good start. Has a Zag, shows us exactly how to do it, and that's just shooting them in the face. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, exactly. That's, I thought, you know, who would have thought that's like the right way of doing this, doing something in game, like, you know? I'm trying to think of the right words to say there, to be honest with you. My brain just stopped working. But yeah, who would have thought just shooting them in the face is the easiest outcome to that entire scenario? I don't like how this looks as far as known, you know, as far as known defense is concerned. I mean, it's falling apart as we speak, but Freds and Colonel in good positions to try and retort back, and Freds is just doing it as a one-man army at the minute. Colonel will fall in the end, and it's left to Freds on site, but look at the creep that's coming up behind, and it's in the form of Cole. Oh, this side by side, but Cole is just that little bit quicker. Tell me, Jammer. Tell me. Okay, we're gonna break this down very slowly. He puts an AK to the side of his head, pulls the trigger, and Cole still comes off the better. Explain.
That's Counter-Strike, baby. Honestly, I think that round really broke down because of that hesitation, that little stutter in Flynn2kBabyRage's progression towards the site. It really just allowed Own to reposition better, set up some crossfires, and then it all just fell apart from there.
I mean, Fred took full advantage of it, right? Like, he put himself in a position where he's like, I'm going to get players off this play. I'm going to catch them because they have no choice but to walk past me. And the minute they do, I'm opening fire, and I'm going to pick as many as I possibly can out of the back of it. And it worked. Or Toko in an advanced position, gets one, not able to get the second there. Zara's actually really woken up so far now, Jammer, in the later stage of this first half.
Yeah, these entries have been instrumental in Flynn2kBabyRage getting back into things. Um, just a side question: are we okay with calling them F2BR? Just because that's a
F2BR, I
mouthful
think so.
every time.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so. We'll probably get production here going,
Confirmation.
no, don't do it.
I do what I want.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fred's
Yeah.
clutch not
Oh.
gonna be. That's a third round for F2BR.
Good third round as well. I mean, well worked. They got themselves into good position. They took out the lockout players as quick as possible, and then it kind of all fell into a decent position for them. Um, Timeout called, so we'll take a small, tiny breather by the looks of things for a minute while something happens. Might be a tech timeout. I don't think it's tech actually because the count zone is still going, right? So this would just be your standard sort of what is going on, lads? Can we build off this now? Get these last 2 rounds on the board for the first half. Give ourselves something respectable in a 10-5. Who
Uh-huh.
knows?
Well, I don't think.
What were you going to say, Jara?
I'm not sure if I should say, but I was just gonna say I don't think we're getting any kind of beneficial double stuffed action today.
No, no, definitely not.
That
I'm
one was
looking for
real
the.
forced though.
Yeah, I'm looking for the pizza reference, but then I realize it's Oreo that's in the server.
Yeah, yeah, Oreo reference right
Yeah.
there.
Tell you what, though, Colonel's got buckets of energy and buckets of skill into this game, right?
You might say he's finger licking good.
I'm done. I'm going.
I've just seen like 5 people drop from spectate. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Well,
We're
last
just
two
gonna
rounds
do.
of the first half.
I was gonna say, owned and Flynn2k baby. If you're watching this afterwards, we apologize massively. It's when there's downtime, you have to make references and jokes, and unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles. That was a really bad one again. That was.
No, no,
I'll
I
give you
like it.
that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Bomb though is gonna get caught off guard
Ooh.
by Toko, and well, it doesn't seem like that combination of chocolate and milk is gonna work out. 2 versus 4 on the cards now to try and recover the situation, and there's a 1-for-1 trade, but you need a multi-frag out of any of these players.
Yeah.
Hazlazag, he's had entries before, but he's going to need to do something miraculous today. There's an opener. Now the double C's, all that stands between him and a fourth round, and it's going to be a bit too tall of a task. 11-3 as we reach the final round of the half. Tech pools being called in, though. Yeah, not too sure why. Mouse has died. Nice.
Ah, nice.
You've got to feed those things, guys. Come on.
You do. You do have to feed them. Like, feed and water. Don't put your mouse in water. That's probably a really bad idea. I forget I said that.
Well,
Happens though. I
gonna
mean,
cut
to the
their tail
best of
off.
us. It happened to me on Friday. That was when we were in the middle of the game. Mouse died.
Oh,
I had to plug it in. It's crazy. First time in
yeah.
ages as well. Like, I can't see this. I don't know if I need to see it or want to see it. To be honest with you.
I'll give you a roundup. Like someone's
Yeah.
mouse has died, and I'm not gonna say who, but someone just says, "Is it a certain player who will remain unnamed?" I think you know who it might be.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's tasty.
Anyway,
That is. That's a
in the
spicy
break,
reference.
shall we bring up the scoreboard? I'm sorry, production. I'm gonna call
Yeah.
on you. 7-round streak to open things up from Own before we get Flynn2kBabyRage into the server, and they get a couple more rounds after that, but it's very sporadic and back and forth, so not the start they were hoping for. No one, really chiming into any significant degree
hmm
from the side of FTBR, but you do have players on the verge of reaching double digits. Do you want to talk about Own?
Yeah, I think with Own, at the moment, the way things are kind of looking, Aaron's playing super deep, and when he's in these really advanced positions, he's just catching Flynn2k every time. He's playing a worldie of a game from a CT perspective. Toko is just showing his worth essentially with York whenever he's in court short, and he's got a couple of players pushing him. Deadly with the USP as well. Also, we saw him pick up, I think it was a 3K with the USP. after popping one with an AWP. So, we know that he can hold his own regardless of which position that he's in. And then you just look at the dynamic duo that is Colonel and Cole. Fred also there in the background, kind of like chiming in and really kind of, laying the damage out. I think from this commentator's perspective, at least anyway, it's like a match made in heaven. You've got the best of all worlds within one world. You've got players who can really
Presented.
hold their own. I know. You've got players that can really hold their own, but you've also got players then that not only can support each other, but they can also take advantage of really, small situations that happen around. We're getting information that it's Godlike Tiger. Unfortunately, his mouse has died, so we're just waiting for the tech post to finish while either replaces the mouse, which
Yeah,
could
I've got
be a
some.
quick trip to Curry's, is it? I don't know if there's a Curry's on the island, maybe.
I mean, we've got some alternative inputs, PS4 controller, of
Oh,
course, the classical Dance Dance Revolution dance pad,
I watched a video
touchscreen
the other day
TV.
of someone using a steering wheel,
Yes.
which
Uh,
it blows my mind that someone can use a steering wheel to play CS. Absolutely blows my mind. I can't even use a mouse and keyboard to play CS, let alone a steering wheel. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
oh, a late contender of a TV remote. So yeah, all of these viable
Can you?
options that you can definitely use to play CS.
I didn't know you could use a TV remote. That's insane.
I don't think you
Um,
actually can.
okay, I was gonna say like I thought you was. I got debated by Jammer. Can't believe it. Um, it looks like it's a driver update rather than the mouse is dead. Oh, that's a nightmare. That is an absolute nightmare. That's crazy. I tell you what though, Jammer, while we're here and we're just chin wagging and chilling out for a few minutes, you've been watching Blast, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Some amazing games, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
completely shockers that have happened in the last day. We spoke about one pre-stream that I think you want to break down at some point, so we'll have to book in a session with the old
Yeah,
Skybox together and have a figure
absolutely.
out exactly where things went right and where things went wrong. Be nice to do it with these games as well at some point.
Yeah. Oh, apparently I'm being fed information that uses a Sucon mouse.
Sucon. I don't
Sucon
think I've
these nuts. Ah, got
Ah, right. Okay.
him.
Perfect. Cheers. Great stuff.
Someone clip that, I bet.
That's. I can't believe you've done that. Why are you being all these?
Oh no.
Are we all right? Are we all right for me to like just leave? Is that okay, production? If I just go, like, I'll leave auto director on for you guys rather than doing all the fancy camera angles and stuff like that. How's that? How does that work for everyone? I've been approved. Your job is finished. Outstanding. Fair play. I will give you the golf clap.
Golf
Well
clap.
done, my friend. Yeah. I can't. I actually am devastated by that.
Oh.
Absolutely astonishing. Man, I trust you so much as well. That's gone. That trust is absolutely gone. Oh, I wouldn't mind knowing what mouse he actually does use, though. In fairness.
Apparently it's a Logitech.
Oh, see, mine doesn't do that when it just updates randomly.
Yeah,
You can
I don't
set
think
it.
many of them do that.
No, because mine's set to
Smart
do it
frame.
like in the evening or like the
Steam Deck.
nights.
All right, we're getting some suggestions from chat now.
Yeah, you could use a Steam Deck in reality because you could just bind your keys to wherever one it is, whatever keys you wanted to. So, like, for those who are watching, and I'm commentating and doing observation, which is what we spoke about the first map. So it is a little bit all over the place. I'll give you that one, but I'm a little bit rusty after the Christmas break. But I use a Stream Deck usually to transfer between different camera angles. So, like for example, if I hit this one, it'll take you on like a panning shot. Not all of them are working at the minute for whatever reason, but yeah. So I use a Stream Deck for that. But you could, in theory, play with a Stream Deck, Jammer.
Yeah, I think they're adding compatibility for some sort of not street, not is it a Steam something? The new Steam controller.
Oh
And
yeah, I know exactly what you're on about, but
well,
I
the
can't
game
remember the name of
started.
it. Yeah, the game started anyway.
Last
One of my
round of a
friends has
half.
pre-ordered it. and it's like 400 quid, and he didn't realize it was going to be 400 quid. So he's just sat there like, where's all this money gone? Anyway, moving swiftly forward into the last round of the first half, Jammer. It's 11-3, still in favor of owned, of course.
Indeed.
And okay, I kind of rate this push from Flynn. This is like the first time we've seen him really push, like, as a group into a site, but uncontested all the way to site.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this could be
hesitantly gonna
good, but
say,
it's,
we're looking at an 11-4 scoreline if they can eliminate this truck side setup. But right now the bullets aren't connecting. Aaron Faith has 2 HP, but the rotations are coming through and the bullets are flying in the opposite direction. So many frags going in the favor of the CT side. Now Oreo needs to do something, but he gets nothing done. 12-3 at the end of the half, and Own are just owning.
right. Cole's instrumental there.
Yes.
Comes up through the back of Bank, and he is just like, okay, there's multiple people in front of me. 1, 2, 3. Let's take them all down one after another. I'm not going to take it away from Colonel and Aaron. Optimus is such a key position there. Playing from that position, it thwarts anything that Flynn can do, because they're in such an awkward placement where if they plant bomb, they're going to get swung peak from either side. There's 2 players playing there. They could swing out at the same time from each side. It's just disastrous for them. They've got to lock that side of the site down. And then you add the little bit of extra flair, that little bit of venom coming out from the back of Bank in the form of Cole, and it's all she wrote. Like, he's just able to slam heads, and that's just the way it's got to be. It's really nice play, really good defensive play from a CT side.
It has been clipped. Thank you.
I hate you so much, by the way. Like, I genuinely do.
Well,
I can't wait for you to put it up on Twitter. I really can't. Like, I know that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be in all the different production discords that we use within the next like 24 hours, and I'm just never, ever, ever going to escape from it. Like,
well,
fair play. It's the first. I love it. Okay. Anyway, Swift, focus on game. We've got to focus. We got this one and then 2 more lined up immediately back to back after this one. So let's get this done and dusted. Moving forward, pistol round. It's Cole there swings out with Aaron Faith. And it's just, again, a repeat of what we've seen from these 2 players, pushing into the second half from the first. All that control taken away from Flynn2k. I was going to say there's a bit of a weird position in from Cole, but he's actually there to help defend the backlines. Not that it's needed, because there's more players around him to help support Aaron Faith. No way.
They went
I thought they were going to go for it. Were they really going for it as well, weren't they?
Well, respect is not going to get any respect. They are hunting with knives.
They're going
out.
for it.
The chase is on. Who's going to get away? The hunters or the huntee? Oh, the knife goes against respect, and he's got 2 players right in front of him. Both are pretty low, but fortified. And he will fall to the knife in the end.
Should we both do a golf clap for that one? I feel like it was necessary. There you go. Well done. Well done. Good respect, that is, from both players, I like that. No BM, lads. Just good plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Flying forward, however, and I mean flying forward into Flynn. There's a lot of F's in that sentence.
Yeah.
A full stack of AKs and a Gleal in the mix onto owned. They're out for blood, Jammer. They want to finish this. This is it. They just want to finish it. Look at that. Not even watching the guy.
Let's go, boys.
1 in 17. Game. Yeah, back on. There you go. Get a golf clap. Thank you. 1 in 17. My guy is pulling it back. Like,
Oreo, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't mean to be picking on you, but genuinely, it's your own doing. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I think for me, on this one, it happens to the best of us. You have a bad game, you have a bad couple of days, you have a bad hour on CS, and it's only when you don't want it to happen that it seems to materialize and happen out there in front of people. Fred's just destroyed the entirety of Flynn there. There's a 4-piece for you. Colonel's happy with that also.
Yeah. Just a reminder, as we reach the prospective final round of this matchup, the loser will go on to meet Sound As in the losers or consolidation final, and the winner will of course book their place into the final. So no elimination here, but playing for all the respect and the stronger standing in the final. Of course, I think the exciting bit of this matchup is the what's it called, the
Use your words.
Flynn2k
There we go.
BabyRage and Soundhouse have played each other before, so there's the
Yeah.
revenge game. That's what I'm trying to say, and
Yes.
it went into overtime last time, so I can only imagine where it's going to go this time. Of course, they will prospectively be meeting Own in that final. So I think I know which way the odds are stacked, but Cole is just looking at nothing as he walks around the corner, and that's going to give Oreo another kill. So 4 versus 3 as we peter down into round 19. Own are trying to slow things down, trying to regroup and figure out where they want to go. A nice execute here could give them a round win, and that'll be all she wrote, but don't have a man advantage. Double AWP, actually, so they could just literally stack one of those AWPs onto A just to spot for info while having everyone else stacked over towards B. It's not the plan of attack right now, but just for those of you at home. Anyway, Hazard will get both in towards Monster, and they know Aaron is short. He's been the top fragger for quite a long section of the map, but he can't do anything. 15-4.
If you can hold on at this stage at match point and take 11 rounds in the bounce, you're probably one of the best teams I'll have ever watched in my entire life. It feels like it's too little too late for Flynn2k to really start pulling these rounds back into it.
Yeah.
There's only a matter of time until Owned have everything fall into place. Speaking of falling into place, that grenade falls right into the face of multiple players, and that's a round on the board for Flynn2k again, I believe. I mean, Aaron's last man standing. He's got a lot to work with. Bomb in hand, of course. He's going to get pushed any second here by multiple players, and they come in from the backside of him. He doesn't realize it as of yet, but he's getting into a decent position to put a defense in play. But in a 1v3, it's overload. But he'll get one, he'll get two. He's got one left to find, and God, like Tiger manages to pull it off. I mean, oof, that could have been that would have been an amazing round, frankly.
It really would have. And it keeps that economy healthy, If you keep 3 players alive on the CT side, you're making money, even if it's just a little bit. But now you can see this rough spot where Flynn2kBabyRage, they win the round by the skin of their teeth for all intents and purposes. But it's still anyone's game. I mean, granted, they're on death's door. Any kind of lost round at this stage is a done deal. That's the end of their kind of upper bracket run. But at the same time, you want to keep your economy healthy so that you can buy those nades, buy those rifles, and give yourself the best chance of progressing forward and at least making things respectable for the time being.
Just waiting for the execute here. It's going to be big from Owned. I mean, they don't have a lot of utility to throw into it, but they've been super accurate and well placed with the utility they have been using so far in this matchup. So who knows? We could see quite an execute coming in towards B site. They're certainly making enough noise to make people aware that they're coming in that direction, at least anyway. And if Colonel's not too careful, he's not going to have any ammo to push into site with in a moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Respect got caught off guard there. I think with the info that Flynn2kBabyRage could have had, they could have stacked over towards B, but it seems like they were almost pulled away from that direction. I think they've seen Bomb now, has a Zag, instrumental in keeping Flynn2kBabyRage's hopes alive, but you can see right now, Own, they're just playing fiddle with the rotations.
I completely forgot about the sound effects inside toilets, by the way, because I very rarely spend time in there. And just hear the toilet flushing behind, and I was like, that come from Jammer's microphone. What's going on here? Anyway, yeah, good position, good push into site itself. Look at this lurk play coming in from Aaron, by the way. Jammer should be able to catch off Godlike Tiger in a second. Yep, all those shots need to hit, and they do indeed. Colonel's push deep. Reliant on that smoke, more or less, to really give him that little bit of extra cover, but it's fading away very, very quickly, and that's detrimental. Speaking of detrimental, though, you get in front of Freds and he will punish and put you down, and that's 16th on the board for Own, and they take the map and they go through to the final, Jammer.
Yeah, we're gonna see the revamping of who is it? It's sound
uh,
as and
Sound
Flynn2k
as
Baby
and
Rage.
Flynn.
I'm
Yeah.
professional. I'd swear, but that that
You've still
joke
got
has
the
thrown
nuts
me off.
joke on mind. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
I knew that would be the case as well. We are going to take a short break, as we mentioned. I say a short break. It's about 40-ish minutes. We're going to have a break up until 3 p.m. And then once that 3 p.m. clock hits, we shall be jumping into the next matchup for the day. It's been a pleasure so far, of course. Have a nice little break. I know I'm going to go enjoy it myself. I'm going to go grab a big old bottle of water and chill out for a little bit. Jarbo, what are you going to be up to?
Uh, grub. I need something to fill me after that delectable Counter-Strike appetizer.
I had a Mackey's breakfast. I'm all good for dinner for the time being. We'll be back with you shortly, gents. See you in a moment.